we're going to move on now to the virtual G7. Now, last week on the show, we spoke to Helen Boardman from Cornwall Voluntary Sector Forum about an exciting alternative virtual G7 that's coming up next month. I am pleased now to welcome Joe McEvoy to the programme now. Hello, are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show. I'm going to start off very quickly because I've actually got this last name wrong before. How would you pronounce that?
It's McEvoy.
You know what? I knew it, and I've got a very good friend with the same surname who is going to kill me for that. So, yeah, thank you for correcting me.
That's
oh,
okay,
blimey. It's lovely to have you on the show, Joe. Thank you for joining us. For those who may have missed last week's show, could you please remind us what Cornwall Voluntary Sector Forum do and why you're hosting an alternative G7 event?
Gladly. So, Voluntary Sector Forum Cornwall is a charity that supports the voluntary sector, community and social enterprise sector by providing a voice for them. So our job is to engage with all of the organisations that provide support across Cornwall, of which there are around 4,000, remarkably, from very small organisations to much larger organisations. But we're here to provide a voice for them. And the G7 Alternative Summit is an event that's curated by the voluntary sector for the voluntary sector. So this is about making an opportunity of the G7 Summit to ensure that that voice is heard and understood.
Brilliant, very nice. Even someone like me can understand that, which is quite an achievement, I won't lie. As obviously the vice chair of Cornwall VSF, you must be pleased with how the tickets have been selling.
We're delighted. We've already sold over 180, although I say sold, those tickets are free. We are expecting to sell out and have a full audience there. And I think that's testament not just to the efforts that have been put in through the team at Cornwall VSF, but also the support that we've got across the sector, across Cornwall, who are supporting us to create that voice for them at the summit.
Absolutely brilliant news. Glad to hear it's going so well, and especially the idea that you're going to be selling out. It's absolutely astronomical. Really pleased for you. Your role now at Priory Group has been leading a digital transformation. What are the challenges and the disadvantages to this event happening online?
Well, so we've across the country have seen how in the last 12 months we have needed to connect very differently because of COVID-19. And, I'm testament to that because I sit here in my £300 shed in the garden, which has become my office. And I can be having a conference with our colleagues in the United Arab Emirates, finish that, walk out the door and walk down to the beach to get some fresh air. And I guess, there's two sides to this story, really, which is, one, we've got great connectivity in Cornwall. It gives us the opportunity to connect communities in a way that we've probably not tested out to this degree before, whilst also remembering that we also have people who experience data poverty and don't have the income or the resources to pay for phone data or internet data. So this does give us a big opportunity to connect widely across Cornwall. And I guess my greatest fear about the event is that we don't have another Glastonbury. So fingers crossed that the technology works and we can make this happen smoothly.
Indeed, I do like the perks of the job, shall we say, of being able to, like you said, have that conference call and then go for a walk on the beach just for a quick break. Absolutely lovely. No one can say no to that, eh? Absolutely brilliant. Now, we asked this question, I believe, to Helen last I think it was last week on the show. I'm going to ask you as well, if you don't mind, which is the don't miss part, in your opinion?
Well, what I can say to you is that there are no lowlights. They're all highlights, and we've got a range of fantastic speakers. So we've got those individuals that are nationally and internationally known, such as Sir Michael Marmot, but at the same time, we've got some of our best and most committed civil leaders in Emily Stevenson, the Beach Guardian, Carolyn Cabman, Hazel Stootley, Carolyn Dan, Rob Shaw, to Sarah Marsh, Andy Gilbert, Cassie Robinson, all of who have a really great perspective to bring to this. So everything's a don't miss point. Everything's going to be a highlight.
That's brilliant. That's pretty much what Helen said as well. Bang on track. Sounds like it's going to be absolutely perfect. So how will the event itself link to the G7 summit itself?
So we, obviously you've met Helen, you've interviewed Helen. Helen, as our CEO, is a fantastic civil leader who has made a big difference since she's been at Cornwall VSF over the past 12 months, and is an absolute bundle of energy and enthusiasm. And part of what Helen has done is she has engaged with senior leaders across Cornwall. Helen is part of the legacy board arrangements for the G7 summit. And what we'll be wanting to do is to use the outputs and the information that we gain through the summit to feed into those legacy discussions, so that the voluntary sector and what the voluntary sector does for the communities of Cornwall is not lost, but it features large in our wider plans for Cornwall going forward. So we'd like to be at the summit. I think me and some of those leaders would get on very well, and I think it'd be a good opportunity to have a thorough chat. But I've not had my invite yet, but if I get it, I'll let you know.
That would be really good, absolutely. But if you do, please come back on the show and let us know. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Get a bit of the inside gossip as well. So, talking of obviously Helen, last week she gave an impassioned speech about Cornwall's future. What is your vision for a better Cornwall?
Well, I think importantly, this is about how do we gather up from our communities their vision for making a better Cornwall. The G7 is founded on a community of values, and whilst some of those values may not necessarily be relevant for what we aspire to be in Cornwall, what we do have is a community of values around economic fairness, environmental action, healthy communities. So what we are here to do is not to impose what we think our vision for Cornwall is, but how we gather up what our communities need as their vision for Cornwall. And that's how we want to work.
Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, Joe, for coming on the show today. It's absolutely lovely to have you. Please don't hesitate to come back again. It's always great to have you back.
Well, lovely to see you. Thanks very much.
Not a problem. Have a good day and stay safe out there. That was a big thank you to Joe from Cornwall Voluntary Sector Forum there. For more information about the alternative virtual G7, please visit www.cornwallvsf.org. We're now going to go on to a couple of songs. We've got Ready to Go by Republica and One Too Many by Keith Urban and Pink. See you after this.